Hi everyone. I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do with like all the worksheets and fun things that he's been doing for his reading the letter. So I just decided just to make them file folders out of whatever worksheets I have and try to make it so that he can reuse it even when he's in first grade. Some stuff might just be review or, things like that. So I started with the letter F, and I have done his letter P, which I still have to kind of seal it off and stuff like that. And I'll show it to you on my next workbox because I'm going to put it in there for him to just review his letter. But anyways, let me show you what I've done. Okay, so when he begins his first game, which is this one, if he wants to play this one, he pretty much is just going to roll his dice and cover however many it says. I am only giving him one dice just because it makes the game longer, but this is the way he likes to play it. He makes me choose the letter and he chooses the picture, which is fine. So if like that said 5, he will take his counters and he will just cover his 5 fish with his little counters. And I gave him the little crabs just because it has to do, with water and the sea, so I gave him those. So anyways, that's how he will play this game as of for right now. So then you open up the file, and the next one up is for his syllables that he had like syllable cards. So what I did is I cut it off and cut off the strips, and he's pretty much, I still got to back the strips up with a cereal box, but he's pretty much just going to put a strip down under the picture, and then he will just pretty much mark it. It's up to him if he pretty much wants to mark it with his little crabs again, which he likes, or if he just wants to clip it with the clothespin. So that's how he'll be playing this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. So I added some file folders, pages to the actual file folder. So I'm just going to show you, it's just going to open up, and then this one's going to be the other side of this file folder. So for this game, I will show you what's going to go on for that one. Okay, so for the frog game, this was a printable, and it was set up as a game itself, but I just pretty much stuck it on here. I cut the frog off, and I stuck him in, like if he was in the pond. And what I'm going to be using him for is for his flashcards. So, for example, I will put the flashcard up here, and then he has insects that he has to feed the frogs. So he'll grab his cards, and he'll just put his insects on there. So he has to actually make the total numbers that he has here. So he has to make 5. So here he has 3, 4, 5, plus 1. So he would end up having to count. He has to pay attention to his insects because some of them, as you can see, have 2, some have 1. And I think another one in here had 3. There's one that's got 3. So he has to pay attention to what he grabs. So once he knows his answer, he will grab his number tile and he will put it on the frog belly. And I will do this with all of his facts that he's learning. So that is what I'll be using that for. So then if you look at the file, it has a top flap. So on the top flap game, it's an actual football. So for the football, we will play different games. He can, hold on a second, let me get the supplies. Okay, so the way he'll be playing this is he can roll the dice, pretty much. I will write different numbers. These are erasable, so I'll write different numbers on here, and he'll just have to pretty much either cover it or erase whatever number he rolls. And he can use 2 dice, 3 dice, whatever. Another way we can play it is to add or subtract and cover. So what I mean by that is by using flashcards. And I can use this also with my first graders to use his flashcards and just write the answers down on here in advance or whatever, or he can write them down as he gets it. And we can play a game. We can also do a math fact. roll the dice and then actually use counters to go from one side of the football to the other side to see who wins. That's a way that I have. The other thing that I did for him was that I made different ways to make the numbers. So he's got a card that's got 10 frames. So if that was a 6, he would actually have to make 10 frames in 6. So he would use his counters. Of course, I wouldn't give him these because they don't fit in there. I have like little balls. Anyways, he would make 6 on here to make the counter of whatever he needed to erase. Another one that I have is the factors of a number. So like if he was choosing 6, it's up to him where he wants to write it and figure out what other numbers he's missing. That's another way to play it. Or I can begin the number. And this is for my older one as well, so they both can actually play this game. And then another thing that I have is making their own problem. So I made these cards. Excuse me. It would be a number, symbol, number, symbol, and then a number. So he completely has to write his numbers down here to figure out what the total would be to erase a number from the football. And I still have to laminate these so that they can be dry erase. And I think that's all that I have so far as what I'm thinking about doing these. And what I did was I printed out the thing, the football, and it comes with the numbers already, and I just put those sticker dots on it. I put 2 of them on top of each number to erase, and then I just pretty much clear taped it shut so that now I can just, write and erase on there. So that's it for this game. So when he's done playing with those, he can actually flip it back, and he has what I call a Connect 4 board. So for that, he's pretty much, let me see if I can turn it while I'm on there. Okay, so pretty much we're just playing Connect 4. Let me grab the cards for that. Okay, I'm going to show you how to play it. I'm just going to grab cards instead of just grabbing exactly the card that we need. These were actually the pattern cards that he had as a worksheet for the letter F, and he colored them. My oldest son colored them for him just so that I could put them on here. I had to print extra ones, and because the ones that Alexander used, he actually put on a worksheet and glued onto the worksheet. So I reprinted some just to play for the game. So the basis is we're playing Connect 4. So pretty much he just picks where he's going to put it. And then I'll pick where I'm going to put mine, etc. And then he'll pick where he wants to put his, and I'll pick where I want to put mine, etc. until somebody connects 4 of them. So he has all his pattern cards that belong to F on here. So he's got football, fans, fish, farmer. That came with the actual reading the letter. So that's another little game that I made for him so that he could play. Okay, so now once he's done with all these games on this side, he's already played those, he has driving the letter. So for that, he's just pretty much showing me that he can write the letter with his little miniature cars. So he'll just take his little miniature car and drive it down, etc. as he's writing his letter. And it's helping him which direction to finish his letters. So I'll be doing that for some games, not for all of them. I used to do this with Mikey when he was 4, and Alexander was 2 years old when he used to do this. So I figured I'd bring it back. So anyways, that's what this flap is. So then you close the flap, and then he has another game on this side. So for this side, what I did was I took some clip art that went with the letter F, and I just glued it on there. And what I'm going to have him do is actually use the little cards that I got from Target from here, and then I'll just give him all the letters, and he has to figure out how to spell fish, frog, 5, and fox. So that's what he'll do there. And then if you close up the folder, he has writing sentences part. So let me pause for a second because I got to grab the stuff that goes to that. Okay, so for reading the letter, for the letter F, the sentences that came with it, like I said, I had in a bag, and I did not know what to do with it. I just did not want to throw away everything that I had printed off for him, and I want him to keep reusing. So what I'm doing with this is I'm just going to reuse it on here. So I can take out his card, he can tell me the sound, he can practice writing his capital, he can practice writing his lowercase. I can also tell him a sentence, the farmer, and he has to figure out how to put it together. So he does that, and he also has the actual picture that goes along to the sentence. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here. So I can actually put the picture here, and he needs to figure out what sentence goes with it. Or actually put the sentence up here, and he has to find the picture that belongs to the sentence after he reads it. So he has that option. Or I can just have him, you know, write the sentence down, try to write his own sentence. Or this other sentence that actually comes along with it as well, which I can just put in any way on here, and he has to figure out how to put it in order. So like here, he has to know, you know, capital letters are first, so he'll figure it out there. And period goes at the end. So a what? A fish. A fish does what? It swims in the water. So pretty much, you know, we'll start off real easy for him until he, you know, learns the sentence. Because I did not do this activity with him when he did the letter F. But for this, I can add it on. And I can also make him other little sentences that have to do, you know, with the farmer and with the football and things like that, which is what I'm planning on doing, so that he can put them all in order. So those are my plans for here. I still have to laminate so he can write on. But as you can see, it is completely, there is no flap that is not used. So I used the first, the inside. This is the other flap, the outside to that, this one, and that one. And then when you close it up, you have the back. So that is for his letter F. I will be doing the other ones. There'll be different things in them depending on what I used as far as his learning of that letter. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.